probably need to turn that light off to help that too.
All right, do you have your call sheet in front of you? Or
No, I can tell you what, like I told you, I can tell you what calls are. We're going to be in 2 up here, we're going to be at Bronco at the top.
You got to kind of give us the.
Okay, here you go. We're going to start as 2 reading right. The ball's on the hash.
I mean, what's the whole call?
Front-wise, I can tell you once we get in here, it looks like we're in a boundary. Again, you want to work on front or coverage, because again, they don't work together with each other.
Okay.
Once we get the end zone view, I'll tell you what the front call is.
Okay.
Okay, we'll work on coverage first.
This is base personnel.
2 reading right. Yep. Linebackers inside. We got a Bronco call with the weak safety. He takes the quick out right now, out in the vertical. Over here, he smashes in 3 because 3 works the outside. The linebacker really needs to not let the guy cross the formation.
Gary, just give me the full secondary call again.
2 blue is 2 Bronco.
2 Bronco. Okay.
It probably has a solo call with
right.
it, but they didn't come out trips, so we're just in 2 Bronco.
Okay, 2 Bronco.
Reading right, because that's the field.
This is against 10 personnel.
Yep.
Is that a call you like a lot against 10?
Yeah, it's not bad. You can see here the free safety gets himself in trouble, though. He gets too much ground here early. Needs to stay at about 11. If he stays at 11, he'll be able to play the choice, but he does a great job of breaking. Luckily, we get a holding call, and they have to back up.
Reed Backer should have stayed on that number 3.
Yeah, he should have not let that happen. Okay, here you go. That's the 3 techniques. It looks like we're going to have a it's a boundary call.
And those guys stem independently, right?
Yep, don't move together. This is the guy I told you is going to make some All-American teams. But this guy went to the Senior Bowl. We hit these guys 17 times, 5 sacks. He'd only been sacked 8 times up to that point. But we're in a boundary call. Here we got, what we're doing is we're zone void, and that's why I called Bronco and not blue. We brought a sandbacker here.
All right, so say that back had been at home there and flared over this way. Do you have a silver with your end or anything, or?
Yes. Well, kicker, this would have been the middle dropper. Would have worked off of it.
He'd have went to the middle of formation, right?
He would have worked this direction.
Right. But he wouldn't go any farther than the football. And then just get
Now
a
you
little
gotta-
bit of depth.
Pardon me?
And just get a little bit of depth.
Because of the Bronco call and bringing him, it put this side's advanced, so he would have had him this way.
Oh, I can, okay.
I'm with you.
Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. 33, 4-7. The corner there is a high
How big is
4-5. Huh? 5'10 and a half, 202. I can tell you right now, we don't have anybody on defense that looks like that wide receiver you introduced me to.
Jermaine?
Shit.
Lewis? Is that
Yeah.
you meant?
He was walking down the hall and
Now, we have got short dogs called here. This is not it, I don't think. Might be, no. 2 reading right. 2 reading right again, we're in Bronco call. And the reason I know it because it's a press here.
Okay, so Bronco calls this weak safety. Is he outside man?
He's outside man because the guy
Yeah,
moved
sure,
into a
split.
tight leverage, yep.
Okay, got you.
Because he's going to
And
have
if
a
he crossed over into the zone side,
If he went short in the zone side, he'd zone off and look to 1.
if he went deep first, he'd handle
Yeah,
it.
anything after 8 yards, he's got him, man, clue.
Gotcha.
It's a good
Now-
job. And now you talked about the safeties. Don't go till you know.
Gary, your away side linebacker is going to hug that back up into the man side. You're going to hug it
Yes,
down
we
there?
always, when we have a solo or anything like that, we're going to go get them right now.
Okay.
And our philosophy is on that, usually that guy's a better player than what ours is, and we don't want to give him any more field than we have to.
Right.
You said Bronco over there, to the wayside. That safety's only playing, he's playing the out.
Vertical and the out.
Vertical out.
What
vertical.
guy comes inside?
If the guy runs a smash to the zone side, he lets him go.
What if he just comes in, sits behind the linebacker and the back flares?
Back flares, the middle drop guy is going to be that because he's open to his vertical.
You say that linebacker's playing a little bit, the read backer's a little tighter because he's a better player. He can read
Now he's
better.
playing because it's 1 back.
Okay.
Remember,
Moves
1 back,
out.
we're becoming hawk. We're going to play the plays
Yeah.
that happen.
You're widening up your techniques. move up.
I'm gonna tell you, that offensive line was about as good as, they're not much.
You trying to run it back here? You
Sure.
trying to get the 3 technique to spill his trap or no? Because he's up.
We'd like to. But again, the linebacker plays so tight. You notice with him in, they didn't just free release, they tried to bump him to get him off because the guy causes too many problems. Now, we're going to go into your zone void stuff here because we feel like they're pretty good. We're going to call short dogs, and we're going to call 2 blue solo, okay? Well, with zone, for us, when there's 2 to the side, the safety can't go, so he's just going to play 2 blue, okay? But the linebacker can because it doesn't make any difference. And in fact, with the Broncos, so you can see here, watch here, he calls it off. We're playing coverage at the top. The linebacker runs through, and actually the guy that sets this up is the middle dropper because he gets in there and the back's watching him. We're going to end up causing a takeaway here. You see here the safety sits. Now when the guy goes outside, really what I'd like Reggie to do, I'd like Reggie to be in farther inside. In Robert coverage, this free safety, in 10 years, I've only been beat twice. And they've never been on verticals. They've been when this guy tries to open too fast and the guy gets back inside the post. Slow, and that means if we play with a 4-7 guy, you can grab him, do anything else. But if you let the guy run vertical, most of the time they won't throw it because he's covered. But if you let the guy back inside, one was against San Diego State, they had pretty good players, and the other one was at a Division II school. That's the only 2 times this guy's, and that's what will happen to this guy. He lets him inside, he'll get beat. It happened in the bowl game. He let the guy run a dang skinny post after he gave an outside move. You can see here, we're bailing here. And he's crossing over too fast. See, he can't come back to this at all.
Your initial call was what?
Short dogs, Mike Spy.
Weak safety didn't come because he's got.
Because we're in zone. If I'd called Dan, if I'd called this with 0, he would have read right. Free safety said reading right. I got him.
Inside the dog, he reads.
Because of the dogs, okay? And he showed here and come over late, and now this safety would have came. But he knows in the zone board I can't come because only one who can come here is a linebacker. We get him here at the second drive here, they're going to take down the field. We're going to make them work at it. But it's,
I wonder why the center, he's
because they try to double read a bunch of things.
They're thinking you're coming with 4, maybe strong.
Yeah, he held it. See, we got him sometimes because they would try to set offset the back. You know, a lot of people when you sit here, they're sliding one way and the man.
Yeah.
So they try to offset you by sometimes getting him and then coming back across. But we got him to hold here because talking to pro guys anymore, one of the things the guy that we're bringing in, the offensive line coach we're bringing in from Baltimore, George Warhol, one of the things they're having to go to slide protection because so many people are going back to 8-man concepts like the Tennessee Titans have. Because this guy, he knows they're starting to run twists with linebackers and linemen because the lineman doesn't know
that it's going to be switched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's responsible for the guy, so especially where we're not confusing our own self.
Where to start?
Yeah, we needed that because I'm going to coach. You guys have played over there. That's a loud place to play to let them get in the game. Now we got a solo call. We've got outlaw number 1. I'm pretty sure we're in double 3s here.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming across. You can see him. He went to Bronco. We went back.
What do you think the whole call is here? It looks like you're in that mini.
We're in special at the top.
I used to call that mini because you're playing the whatever coverage you want to play, except for one, he's out of it.
He's out of here too fast. We need him to stay here and be more of a better force player. See the wrong shoulder by the end? See what the front did.
You're an outlaw.
Never seen that call either, have you, Coach? Now, what I'd like to see is this guy here, because it's offset, not be up in the A gap so far.
You're not in any kind of slide concept either because you're in shotgun or.
Yeah, and we would never play slide with outlaw anyhow.
Okay.
But because, now this was underneath the center of the guy's back, I'd expect double tight A gaps. But I don't like it when the guy's up this tight and the guy's in an offset because there's not going to be anything hard at him anyway. So he should have been back there stacked, and then he would have been able to get over the top of this. A lot better than what they did here. This guy played in the Hula Bowl for us, number 2, but he played tackle terrible. Then he's not going to get drafted. Tackles like he's a 7th grader. 415-pound bench. Now you can see here in robber coverage here.
You got a
Short dog again.
Yep. And again, he had to come out of it. Again, free safety. He's going to sit there and he's going to
How
make.
fast is 2 again, Gary?
He's no better than a high 4.5. He's 208 pounds. This guy is no better than a high 4.5. Again,
Nice job by the safety flat foot.
well, but that, you know, again, that's what we, you know, you say, well, you're going to play action, play it. Now, I don't know anybody who plays as strong of safeties as flat foot as I play them. I mean, watching a lot of people give ground, but really, it all comes down to how well you trust. At least for me, I trust myself in doing it and what people do to me. We demand our safeties every year. Like this year, the free safety and the weak safety are number 2 and number 3 in tackles. The year before, the weak safety and the free safety number 2 and 3 in tackles. Now, probably this guy here was in New Mexico, is now playing for the Indianapolis Colts. He's playing for the Green Bay Packers. At New Mexico, this guy was playing for the 49ers. But we don't have those kind of guys here. Now, this guy played great in the spring. And see, he's disguising a little bit too much for me. Now, see, he's showing blitz, and now, see, he comes out of it. Good throw.
What's your call here?
That's your bullets right here.
We got bullets on. Looks like bullets B. Tight. It looks like it's outlaw, bullets B. So we start in outlaw, and linebacker's going to wrap around.
Okay, bullet. Now, one more time here. So your bullets be 0 free or 0?
In this case, it's 0. He's just going to try to give it as much look, and he's got the back.
Got the back. I'm with you.
Reggie's doing a pretty good job, but you know what? He's just about a little bit too much, and this guy's about gets his ass beat. And really, you know what? He would have helped us a lot better if he would have lined up back here in blue and not even gave away the linebackers coming. The rule now is if linebackers are blitzing, nobody shows. Because that's the 2 people they can't ever tell it's coming. Because we don't ever walk them out of the box.
Right.
And we even have a bullet show call, meaning if you're in 4 wideouts, we're going to show zones. So if you come out doubles, the wayside linebacker is going to walk out. He's going to give a fire call, and he's going to run a smoke.
He'll come off the edge.
He'll come off the edge, and the other guy will run through,
Like old,
and we'll play it out of a
It's
Tim
like that.
call.
You go.
Yeah, it's like tech. You know, like you're saying with tech.
Yeah.
They said they'll smoke that safety and let the linebackers
Well,
come off the
it
edge.
becomes, and one of the things we're going to get into later on in the spring, because they're always looking for our safeties to come, is create dogs forward from the side with our linebackers. We play a Tim call, so we play double 2s. What it is, whoever's going to walk out comes, he sets behind him, this guy's going to blitz wherever side goes. So, but he's saying fire and he's coming off the edge. So fire, if he fans, he's a free release.
What would your call be here? What are you talking about?
Call is bullet show. Ty G Tim, bullet show.
Okay.
Now this guy offsets. Okay? If he offsets, then he's going to offset where you can create a dogs. If he offset the other way, but that is just the way we build in the bullets. Bullet show is we're going to show zone and we're going to come. So if you come out lined up and trips open,
He'll come off the edge.
then the Sam's walking out to his zone alignment. He's coming now. The Mike's doing what that guy did in one back.
The backer in the nest is blitzing a B gap to the backside.
Correct.
If he's at home, to the flow side. If he's offset, to that side.
Correct.
Okay.
The backs at home, does he go into the backs release, or is he puts into the backs?
Well, we'll usually have a silver on, so if that guy back flares right now, the ends, which is built into every call, they flare off and take them, and the linebacker's running through. But the safety's responsible for him. Somebody is. Unless you never release your back, and then we're going to build it in until you make us cover. Okay, we're in cover 2 at the top.
2-5.
That's what it is. No, yeah, it is 2-5. See what the front is here. 3 techniques into the boundary.
Rip.
Now the 2 guys that hurt us here is the linebackers, but because both of them didn't fight pressure. Took the easy release. He pulled himself back out. He pulled himself back
That
out.
about as far as that backer will leave the box right
Yes,
there.
and really what should have happened here, this guy here should have centered up more a little bit. Would have helped himself a little bit because of the pull. Again, look how fast the free safety shows. He's hitting the guy at about 3.5 yards. Now you talked about your crossing routes, this up here. Well, no, they didn't get them here. They're going to try to set choice routes down.
2-5 again.
5 into the
You can
boundary.
see here the free safety sits nice in the choice. I wish he'd slow down a little bit because he turned too soon.
Just fit him up more, right?
Yeah, I'd like for him not to turn until he got to his shoulder.
Right.
That's what I told you about linebackers. Slow him down to a walk. That's what I'd like that guy to
Just
do.
getting run by, huh?
How?
If you let that guy run in a vertical, get to your shoulder, and you're sitting. And
That's what I tell you about cover 5, and as far as I'm concerned with our corners.
No, I'm talking about the free safety.
No, we ain't going to get run by. Well, at least we haven't. We're going to pin the shoulder and clip it. Five on the backside. But see, this was the little read they were trying to do to us. Because watch what this guy does.
No.
They're trying to get this guy to look outside to number 1 and then take off and go. Now, I tell you, the guy's not very good here.
Yeah, he should get some width to him and
His
fit.
ass needs to be, he's the wall player.
Yeah, wall him up.
That is our number 1 thing that what we have to get better in the spring at is our wayside linebacker.
You like what the strong safety did there?
That's pretty nice.
You think he's getting a out call, or
Could be.
you're not going to get a China call on this, are you?
No, because it's over 5. This would be an in call.
But you would get a China and robber if it was.
Yeah, we're getting anytime corners, whether it's 2 blue or 5. If the number 1 receiver sits down at 5 yards, we're getting a China call. And it's telling somebody to run to it.
Particularly in 5, a lot of people won't make a China call in 5. They'll let that corner play the China route.
And they'll let the linebacker and the safety have to
Because a
make
lot
the
of
corner.
people take that inside receiver and sitting down as opposed to running the corner.
In fact,
They see you doing that.
In fact, that's what UTEP did to us.
And they,
Yep, second to last game of the season. Now we came out with it's second or third, whatever it is. We came out with nickel. We played the 0 fiddle call.
okay.
So we're playing fiddle, doubles, man press on both sides.
Are you playing double fiddle?
Yep. So we're showing double smoke.
Okay. Now just real quick, I know we haven't talked through this coverage, but if you get a crossing route by one of the inside receivers,
He's got him.
He's got him.
He just waits for the next crossing route.
okay. He's not trying to get to the middle of the field or anything.
No.
Now, if you get a straight to the flat, your outside guys are taking them. Now your 2 inside safeties are just kind of robbing in there looking for crossers.
They look to the outside number 1s now.
The backers got the back.
Okay.
Man to man?
Huh?
Backers
Yeah.
got back, man to man film.
And they're going to hurt us in a minute because what they're going to do is I'm going to come back. It's the last time I'm going to call this call all game. They're going to run 4 verticals. And they're going to run the run and shoot slip screen.
Slip, yeah.
And so you got a linebacker on everybody in their army here.
It's like Eastern Michigan. a couple
So
years
what
ago.
we did after this, instead of playing when we came in, we played 22. So we kept flat players and still got the vertical players we wanted.
Gary, are you always going to press like in 0 fiddle?
We press, we bail, or we play off.
Oh, you just said 0 fiddle, you're off.
If we're off, if we want 0 fiddle press, then again, I'm going to call what I want the corner to
He's
do.
expecting no help from any. I mean, he's not reading number 2's release to know if he's getting inside help from
Yep.
the safety, is he? Or
No,
is he?
and now then goes back to a good point now. Here we go again. 0, here's another way to play all this. Again, 0, free, hold. Who did I tell to play the hole? Same guy I told in solo hole. Now this week safety sits here.
Safety.
He plays the hole. He plays free. Okay? Zero fiddle always talks to free safety. And if I said zero fiddle and then I said deep,
You go deep.
he'd go deep. These guys know they play outside leverage, or this guy would, and he'd be the deep player. Again, I'm changing up coverages, but I'm not changing up how much stuff people have to learn, because I'm not going to do that very much. We're going to come down to playing the same things. Now, I'm going to tell you, these guys are pretty good. And this guy, 39 at the top, is a redshirt freshman, and this guy down here at the bottom, see, Greg is going to be a senior, but I'm telling you, he's not more than a 4'6". But he's 6'1".
Or your head up.
We
And
play
then
inside
press
eye.
eye.
Inside eye. On our press line, what we're going to do, what we want to do is we don't want to get physical unless you make it be physical. Ball's in here, and I'm on the inside eye. On a snap, when the movement happens, I want to do this, so if you go quick release, I can stop you. Where they get in trouble is this. And where they get in more trouble is when they try to use two hands, because when the guy outside releases, you can't play man press, because the first thing you do is you got to do this, and you're in trouble position, your ass is beat all day. So what you want to do is we want to create this, and what we do is progressional-wise is you now become an open step. Now where our guys will get in trouble as they open, if they try to get on top too much, and that guy takes that inside hand and clubs you. So you got to stay on the shoulder, clip it, and when he tries to come across, you got to throw it. If he does get here, then we whip turn and we come back down. We teach in man coverage 3 phases, and that way I can teach my guys what they're good at. We call it the jam phase, the stretch phase, and the long ball phase. Where are you getting beat at? Well, if you're getting beat in the jam phase, you're going to have your butt's going to be beat all the time. So how are you doing in this 3-yard box? Then how are you doing? Are you watching the hip when you get in the stretch? And then how are you playing the deep ball? And usually now they know what they need to work on. A young player needs to work on all 3.
Now, how
How
much?
much you usually bring the inside hand? Always,
Yes.
Always.
And then if they do cross your face, so if I'm here, I hear he takes the hard release. Now the next hand that's coming is this one, and now I'm pressing his ass right down the line of scrimmage.
Are you taking the safeties and working that, or are you sending them?
Yeah,
to the
no, I
corner
do the same
coach?
thing. I coach the 3 safeties just exactly like that.
So you don't send them to the corner coach for man work.
No. When we do one-on-one, we got 2 lines on both sides. H's, Z's, tight ends, wideouts. My safeties work on the inside 2s, and the corners work on the outside. And if the corners get too fast, and still they're not read backpedaling, because you got to play slower on the inside guys. I'll make the corners come in and play the inside guys all day, because it's a lot harder. My safeties love to go out and play outside. That 215 strong safety, he'll go out here and play all day, because he knows. Fade, slant. When you play press, you play in here, it's slant, cross your face, out, corner out. I mean, it's.
So obviously you're doing your man stuff, not when an inside drill's going on or anything.
No, we do it when they do Oklahoma. The front people are doing Oklahoma versus a D lineman and the O lineman in the back. We're doing one-on-one. And then if they're doing another half zone where they're just doing half line stuff, then we might go 10 minutes of one-on-one. When they go to middle drill, my guys are going to middle drill. Now, my safeties, when they get to middle drill, will not tackle in middle drill, or they won't stay there very long. All I want them to learn how to do, free safety learns how to run the alley, and the outside safeties learn how to overlap and fit. Because if we don't run a good net, where you see the outside guys coming, you can't play this defense. That's why we teach the triangle drill, or what I call the diamond drill, because I think that life is what this defense is all about. You teach everything in that drill that safety's going to do on the field most of the time. I think this is where they get us with the slip screen. I think this is 4th down and like 2. This linebacker should have treated it. It is. See, they ran us off in verticals. Bad call. Bad call.
So what was your call here?
0 fiddle. And we got nickel in the game, so we're fiddling on both sides. And holding.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. They don't call holding anymore, only tackling sometimes. Bronco at the top, We're playing two Bronco. And it looks like we probably, the way we're reading here, it looks like we got a bullets on.
Yeah.
So we're playing zone, we're bringing linebackers and playing zone. Now it's gonna hurt me this next call. They're gonna throw the quick slant on robber coverage and the free safety's not gonna break fast enough. Right over here. Trapping it, great job. You don't wanna know why this guy's pretty good. Watch this.
Yeah. You like that backer to fit outside that veer, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well,
In a strap.
yes. Again, one of the problems you have is you're playing things, you're up so tight because you're playing the inside game, you lose things because of it also.
Right.
Okay, obviously, middle of the field, double width, reading to the left.
Right. Reading right here, yeah, and this, you would always read, yeah, we'd always read left in the middle of the field.
Okay. Balance set. I shouldn't say balance, that's too wide on each side. You had a tight end, twins on the other, you're reading the
Twins, that's correct. It's a great throw.
What coverage you in here, Gary?
Robert at the bottom. I try to stay away from man as long as,
right, looks like you're in Bronco again at the top.
yeah, we were.
See, this is, it looks like you're in a lot of Bronco, which when I talk to those guys in North Dakota, I mean, that's their base way of doing it.
Yeah, ours not.
They're gonna lock at, and then any trips are gonna trap it.
Now, we did because we were I was trying to keep the linebackers in. These guys know they don't have to leave out of here as much as if you have a 4 wide, now back up to blue, and then this guy's got to
Right.
wide more because he's got to handle things more. Again, don't always have a reason for why why you're having something in your package. If there's not a reason for it, you just want to do it, then
What do you got here?
we got man on. We're in man free. He had the trips guy. Here's the free player. We're bringing one linebacker.
Okay, so what would this call be?
Looks like we have I can't tell which one it is, but it looks like we have a Sam or a Mike on, and we have 0 free call.
Okay.
And it's press. 0 free press. Again, not a bad outside move. The only
First
thing,
talk to that's,
only talks the outside guys.
okay.
Only talks the corners. Only thing I don't like about what the corner at the bottom does is I think he's on his heels, myself personally.
Now
That
you-
free safety, your middle safety there, is that how deep you want it?
Yeah, because he actually has 3.
Okay, so it's not.
We're in
when
3
you say
because we
three-
balance over because we're not going to move out. The guy, when we say 0 free, when they go trips opens the week, he's going to be the third player. He's going to be the middle third player. We're not going to run the week over and give away the disguise. What you'd like to see from him is a little bit deeper possibly, but here again,
Ooh, it's left over.
see, he was going to take him, but then he went back and went back to the 3. They just passed him off. Here we're going to go, because they were running those cross routes, we went to cover 5 at the top. Change up call, don't do it a lot. At the bottom,
Looks like 5 also.
yeah, it is. The guy that hurt us here was the linebacker. See, they did that little thing, and he thought,
Sure.
when he looked outside, he thought he was the China. And he's not. He should have been running underneath this right here.
Next guy is, huh?
The other guy that didn't help, the corner's not physical enough. Again, I've already told you what I thought of our corner play. You can see here, once 2 stopped, look what the weak safety did. He went to start looking up 1, then he saw the guy come back,
Right.
so it came back to him. We're in a boundary call again, and they got a boundary text on here. Text, when we call by itself, is always the 3 technique. Call side, tackle, and in. X is always going to stop to the 50 side unless we say double text. And I can say this anywhere. It can be field, split, boundary, tight.
Right.
The same thing with the X. Then if we called Cobra with this, then they'd be both up the field and then make their move. These guys ended up 25 of 55 in this ball game, I think.
Now bullets on?
No, we actually have here in the free safety and get over. We actually have short dogs on here
Short
with
dog.
0,
Okay.
and 0 bail this time. And I'd like, if you're asking a question, the same question I asked, get your ass over here.
Mhm.
But again, we guessed. They ran a run play, and it's now you've got a lot of people in the box. I've got 7, you had 5.
Who were we watching where they didn't get him over? Was that Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
He was in the middle of the field running, the snap of the ball to cover that guy. I mean, they wanted to disguise more than they wanted,
Yeah, and that's the wrong team to do that against.
no, Virginia Tech was on defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Florida State's the wrong one to be running somewhere to cover them.
Oh, that's, we were watching against somebody else.
Now, this is a pretty good robber technique down here. Now, this one, here's what he said in Bronco. I said, Reggie, what were you doing? He says, I don't know, but I'm awake now. Well, no shit. You're awake now. See, way that should have been played, number one, he needs to be inside leverage. Again, what are we trying to force him to do?
Throw it long.
Okay, here you're going to see a good solo call and playing robber out here. Solo at the top, read and write, we got cover 2. Solo player's going to come over and handle the choice
I
route
was
here.
going to ask you that.
Right here.
You know, if that guy's a tight end or a tight slot, obviously this is a little better to play. If he gets out that wide,
This guy should have widened a little bit, but we're all playing, man.
okay.
Because the key is, see, where that free safety stands, you can't stand up and throw it, because we might be in roll coverage.
How about if you got something like this, Jerry? Because we get this from, I'm not sure from Marshall, but we get stuff that looks like that
I'd check roll to it.
as opposed to solo.
Yeah, you might solo it too, but I'd play roll to it. Anytime they get tight, I get wide. They're trying to catch you in a man concept when they do it.
Right.
Mhm.
You might even play, I tell you what you might even do is you might even play cover 5 over that look right there and
Right.
still play solo. And wait for the third guys to come over.
We went to a strong.
Now here's the whole thing, you think, you know, people know we play solo, so just like, oh, you think, everybody says, well, why don't they throw back here 1-on-1? Because when this guy lines up here, you don't know if the guy's in a half,
Right.
he's gonna help or he's gonna come over here. And if he'd do a little bit better of just backpedaling over, this guy couldn't read his shoulders anyway,
Right.
instead of turning and opening like he does. Good job of shuffling. Let's see what we got up front. I don't think we had a twist on here. I think it's just a straight pass rush. Now this is safety here. This
You're
is
a
the ball
nickel,
player.
Gary?
Yeah, we're a nickel.
Is this game later in the season?
We were actually 3 and 4 this time. Just got beat by Rice. Could have quit. Down at their house.
This is 2 years ago, Coach?
No, this is this last year.
Past season?
This actually is the start of running. We didn't lose any more the rest of the way
These
out.
guys were pretty good now, weren't
Huh?
they? These guys' record was
Yeah, they beat Oregon State in the Aloha Bowl.
They played really well, that's
I'm
right.
telling you right now, and defensively they're really good too. But they had the guy that went to Texas Tech. I think he averaged loud about 400 yards a game against the option. It'd be interesting to see how he does in the Big 12 doing that. Navy had like 6 runners and 5 runners about had 100 yards in the game. Got beat 48-44. We had 400 yards running the option against them over here. And that's without our starting tailback. We play with a
This
walk-on
coordinator
tailback.
left them
Huh?
went where?
Hawaii went to Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, that's right.
He was hired by a service.
He's not the coordinator.
McMacken?
Yeah.
I think so.
So I think he went to this coordinator.
Now this is nickel, and it's 22. We're playing robber coverage on both sides. One linebacker. Now we've got a tech stunt on. We got a tech stunt on, and this helped that little slip screen this time. They tried to catch us in zero fiddle again, and this time we got support out here. What helped us though was the twist, because it slowed them down enough that this thing happens just quick enough that this didn't happen. That was a strong safety in junior college. He played at Tyler Junior College. Was a strong safety. His name is London Dunlap. When he got here, he was 198 pounds. He grew to be 235 and ran 4.54. Plays defensive. He was most valuable player of the Sun Bowl, and he didn't start. He plays behind 14. He's from Houston. He just graduated from, in fact, he was going to graduate school this senior year.
So home.
I ask on that is it just doesn't leave.
Right, silence and.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's not one of those silence and everything like it. It just, you know, how we are in this profession pretty soon, you know, all that stuff comes back.
I watched their defensive line clinic tape, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like the tape you did. Doesn't have game clips on it. It just has all his drills. You know, everything he does, he has something between their legs. But they got a real nice sled on there. You know, explosion sled and go up.
Can we get one of those?
Yeah, sure. All right, Gary. All right, we'll go into dogs right now instead of the drill.
Okay.
I think that's the next thing we're getting ready to go into, right?
Yeah.
The thing, here's what we need to go back on.
Zero kind of that.
Well, zero we can teach. What I'll do if you want me to, I will teach you how I was teaching somebody they're going to run our blitz package, and basically it'll be the bullets, smokes, and then it'll go right in the dogs.
Should you teach zero first, or teach it with dogs?
No, I teach zero first, but only briefly because I'm just going to
Okay,
teach
we'll do
the
it that
number.
way. And the other thing, watching some of your cut-ups this morning, a lot of the times it would say flip, but then they're playing man out there. They're not playing the zone.
Yeah, we would change it up by game plan. That's correct.
So you'd say anytime you flip, you might say,
I might say play cover 5 out there. I might say play a squat and the inside guy play half, but I'll change that on the sidelines.
all right, so but give me a call with flipping.
2 blue flip.
Okay, 2 blue flip, okay?
They flip, they're going over and playing whatever flip coverage I tell them that we're doing
That's
right
game
now.
plan that week.
Most of the time, it's if they say, well, Coach, are we playing flip regular? They know that
Okay.
means we're playing blue.
So if you're playing man, let's say you're playing man flip, what are the people on the backside doing? Like give me
fiddling.
just draw me a twin setup. You got 2 blue flip, and flip this week is man with corners over.
Yeah, we have. In fact, you'll see it in our scrimmage. Depends on what your back set is. If your back set's over, a lot of times what we'll play, either we'll play it free, and he has him. If we play slide, we'll do that. I'll play 0 free with it because you've overshifted to a 4-3. If I haven't overshifted to a 4-3, then what I'll do is play the fiddle call. We're outside, inside this guy, and leave these guys on islands.
But I guess my point is, when flip is man, you're man on some type of man on the backside.
Yeah, except, and when we call it 2 blue flip, we can still check sky back here, meaning we're in cover 2. Weak safety, free safety. If you were in over here, he moved back over to check sky, so we're here. So they're playing cover 2 on the backside like this. So this guy could be in a run leverage. And then if you offset him where we don't have a run leverage problem, and he goes ahead and says flip, 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 then we don't slide. Now he's playing, basically now we're playing man across the board. Basically everything's going to be set up to make sure we can keep run leverage, whether it's 0 or we start with a 2 blue call.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that part starts to sound a little complicated to me now. I mean, there's a lot
Well,
of, you know.
If it's zone, basic teaching, I will play, if it was 2 blue flip, doesn't matter how we're playing flip, I guess is my point to you. If I come out here and tell them to play man coverage, because me, as far as I'm concerned, quarters coverage is man coverage anyway. We're just, if the guy ran a hitching corner in blue, though, this guy's going to sink, we're going to cover, and we're going to give anything away, we're going to give away the hitch. These guys, again, don't care. I'm giving them the flexibility within 2 blue flip to check sky. If I call it 0, which is going to make these guys flip anyway because we're man coverage, then they're not going to have that flexibility back here. They're either going to have to come back here and play fiddle, or they'll play it free. But they're going to be within the man coverage family. They're not going to be able to come back here and say sky, which is cover 2.
All right, take us through 0.
Again, I teach out of a one-back set. If you call 0 by itself, again, just like in zone, you count from the outside in. If we called 0 and we didn't say anything else, the way this would work is the corners would always have number 1 because you got 7 coverage players. Safeties always have number 2 if he's outside of the tight end box. So in this case, this number 2, the weak safety would have. This way we'd always have an automatic. The linebackers would know they'd have a fiddle, a 2-on-1. One would have him, one would be free to rush or drop or whatever we told them. So if you wanted a 5-man rush all the time, you'd have it. If you gave a single width, the corners would come over. And they eliminate themselves. So now the counts start for the strong safety, the next guy in. He's still going the strength of the passing formation. Again, the free safety's still the free guy.
Okay, so I mean, if they eliminate themselves.
We don't put them in the count.
Okay, strong safety usually has 2, so now
Yeah.
you're saying he's got 1.
No, what I'm saying to you is we don't ever, you start with a balanced formation when you start teaching them. If the guy's not there, you bump everybody down, so the corner's not here, so this guy, even though that is a number 1, there's nobody else left to cover him because the corner's flipped. Now, within this, if this guy went in the backfield now it's both linebackers have him, now the weak safety's free.
Okay.
We're just calling 0, so 2 guys free, 5 guys got coverage. Okay? Now when we start talking about a blitz package,
Now, once I got him, once I ride it, I saddle and I ride him.
correct,
Anybody there's no bumping.
no bumping.
The back goes out of the backfield with a safety.
Yes, we would do, if we game plan that type of
What if
situation.
he went out the other way?
Went out the other way, do the same thing, the free safety could handle him if that's what we wanted him to do. Because he's still got a
Okay,
free
when you
play.
keep saying if we wanted to do
Well-
you have to have a base way, right?
Base way would be hard focus the first time. After that, then it's going to be, is that guy a great wide receiver? If he is, then we're going to want a safety. The reason I'm saying in the base way, you stay with them right now, because when we get into blitzing, they don't know where their help is.
Okay. So
You said, you're not saying the free safety will even take it, you're talking about.
that linebacker would take him as a base way.
Yes. Right now, if he
But if
starts
you
here,
want the weak safety would take him.
Bump out.
That's the
yeah.
base way.
But I guess what I'm saying to you is, if it went like this, when you have 2 guys free, that doesn't hurt because he'd be the free player now.
Right.
Same way you saw in trips open when the free safety walked up and took number 3 and the weak safety's out.
You just snap.
But before you're asking me to give you examples, first let me teach you,
Okay.
and then you'll understand why. Okay? So let's go to bullets. Bullets tells we're going to bring 2 backers. Don't matter what's on that blitz card, don't matter where they're coming from, what's going on, just bullets. Because we're talking for coverage, okay, and that's where we want to teach it. So bullets, we're going to use 0 with it. Okay, now the free safety hears bullets, so he comes out and he says, we line up to the strength of the formation just like we do in zone. Free safety says reading left, but strong safety's not coming because of bullets, so strong safety, I got him, well, next guy, there's no tight end, so free safety has him. Now he's going to line up like he's going to read the passing formation, try to cover up, look like cover 2, and he has the back. Again, so if this guy came over here, they count. Again, he has him. Now he has the number 3. The weak safety has the back. Because all they do is count from the outside in. They know that they have to have somebody because these guys are coming. Different from any other scheme, when you put 5 DB guys in here, this is a lot more easy than what you think it is because it just everybody starts counting outside in. If I went over here and put quads over here, this guy would have to find it, he would come over and have somebody.
Right.
Because you just keep counting until you find one.
You can always have 2.
Exactly.
Weak safety, free safety would always have 3. Strong safety always 2.
Now, so, bullets meant backers. So if you came out empty, Strong safety S2, free safety S3, weak safety S2 on the other side. No problem.
So bullets goes in two places, right? It's on this card and it's also, you signal it over.
I just signal like this. I say 1, and then I go 0 to the secondary. Mark just goes bullets and goes 1.
Right.
That's the
One
front
means-
6.
Oh, what's on the card?
Well, whatever number 1 on that card says,
So they
or
know-
3 or 5 or 7. In the secondary, I got to let them know, so I go 1, and 1 means bullets to the secondary.
But they don't have to look and see that it's type G bullets.
No, they don't look at anything in the front. They don't care about what all they know is the linebackers are going.
Okay, so, all right, so 1 means bullets, okay?
For me, as a secondary
The
guy,
secondary. We say that's a signal to those
Right.
guys. So,
Right.
yes. 2 is going to mean bullets thunder, meaning we've added something to bullets. 3 is wide dogs for us. 4 is short dogs, so I pair them together, wide and short. 5 is odd man out, so that's mob, that's 8 man. We have to play it with a cop. 6 is T dogs, and 7 is S dogs, so
So
tight
they
end and
have to
split end.
remember that.
Yep, and everywhere from the Naval Academy to New Mexico to here, and they learn it in about 2 seconds. I mean, it's really, and this is exactly what the guys at TCU said, because we can't do that. Well, here, 2 seconds. Now, what do you remember 1 was? Oh, it's bullets. Oh, yeah. Now, you're not quite the dumbass that you thought.
Just tell me what they are again.
1 was bullets, 2 was bullets, thunder, 3 was
Wide dogs.
wide dogs, short dogs, mob, and then
T dogs,
T
that's
dogs. That's
3 was wide and short.
Yeah, T was wide and 4 was short.
Oh,
But, I mean, you could do it any way you wanted to.
I just want to get the concept down.
Yeah.
Wide dogs. 4 was short.
Yeah,
Okay, what was 5?
mob.
mob.
What was 6?
T.
T dogs or?
T dogs.
Okay. What was 7?
Split dogs, S dogs.
What was 8?
No 8.
Okay.
At
No,
8 sacks,
you don't have any
eight-
smokes on there.
No, because I do short smoke, wide smoke.
Okay, so smokes.
I signal smokes.
Smokes are single. Okay. And then just out of curiosity, 1 is what?
Bullets?
Your signal. 2.
I use, bullets thunder.
Okay, what's this mean?
That's my indicator that they know that every game I change it to something I touch and give it so they know it's not a coverage. So when I go to my head and I go 2, they know it's bullets thunder, not cover 2.
Oh,
And then then it's 0. So I go bullets thunder, I go bullets and then 0 press.
what's 0?
Man.
What's your signal?
And for the fall, we're going to change that. Been doing them too long. Because I'm not very smart. 2, 5, blue, flip.
All right.
Now,
Do me one favor, Gary.
Sure.
I don't ask examples, but give me a tight end on one, just like you got.
okay,
Okay. Weak safety's got number 2 there. Okay. Free safety's free.
you guys got the back. In
No,
bullets
I'm sorry.
or just 0?
0. I'm running bullets.
Bullets, free safety's got the back.
Okay. That tight end steps back and taps across. Is your weak safety going with him, or is he bumping the other safety?
The older safeties now would bump and the free safety'd hand him, and the weak safety'd have the back.
Okay, so it's not true to say once you saddle him, you ride him, because that's not what you're
And
doing.
that's why Prebz did by our older safeties. Our younger safeties, that younger safety chased him over and covered him.
All right, now how about you got old safeties in there, and this wide out motions across.
Strong safety had him all the way.
He's not screwing around with
The only thing that would happen right over here, because you're using a tight end when this guy got about right here, strong safety's yelling badge under the weak.
And then would the weak continue out with him once he went
Yeah.
out?
And he's inside, he's outside, so as he goes out, he has him and it comes to him.
And is all of that inside man,
Yes, sir.
even on the inside receivers?
Yes, sir. Because you have no help.
And they're just looking right at them, or are they looking at quarterback to man?
No, when
when you're on the inside guy, you can't look at the man.
Okay. Outside guy, you might three-step read.
Only if you're off. Most of the time we'll be able to press. Off man, you read the quick slant, you know, the three-step. But when you're in bail press, you're looking right at the guy.
All right.
Next thing you teach now is smokes.
Before we get into smokes, I got some more questions on bullet.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, just give me a twin set, 2 backs.
Okay.
Our weak safety's got the tight end.
Depending on the back set, if it's a run formation, he's got a leverage problem. So what are you going to say to the free safety? They're going banjo. So you're going banjo, so they turn this into a 2-on-2 because he's got to be able to play toss sweep. He's got to be able to play. He's got to be able to play the pass. So here, wherever tight end and 2-back, it's going to happen in dogs, smokes, and bullets. If you have a natural leverage problem where you got to be able to do more than one thing, and you can't do that, that's when a banjo comes into effect. Not only going to happen there, but here's going to happen here, Chuck. Tight end pro. Now it's going to be the strong safety and the free. Now the weak's back here. Hopefully he would show a half so he wouldn't give it away. But if the backs were strong here or split on a tight end side, you'd have a banjo call between the outside and inside. If the guy was away, there'd be no banjo. If there was a banjo, what it might be between the weak and the free because of on these two guys, you know, getting this kind of situation. If they were doing that kind of stuff.
All right, so go back to my tight end there.
Okay?
And so your support sky there, right?
Yep. But I don't say sky, banjo built it in, but yes, you are supporting sky.
Okay. This safety you got out over here, he's got the first back out that side.
That's correct. He's got first guy himself. Yep.
All right. So he's going to slide in there a little bit. Z goes across in motion. Are we going to get a banjo between the weak safety and the corner?
No, not usually. Not usually will we banjo with the corners. But if they were stopping here, after one time, then they'd start doing that.
Slide with him
But really what you don't have to do, because most of the time, if they start in a wing, we would banjo it with a corner. I'll show you it in the East Carolina game.
there. Okay.
But if he doesn't, because what happens is we're already going to keep natural leverage with this guy anyway, because we already have a banjo call already. They've already made this situation for them.
All right. How about if both these guys are close together out here? Are you going to banjo that?
Yeah, if you have a pit type situation, which it could be this, or it could come out here, it could be a trips type situation if, you know, this guy wasn't being, but whoever had it, now this might be the corner and the strong safety. Corner's man, and these guys would back up to 7. He'd play inside eye, he'd play outside eye. He would play everything up to 3 to 4 yards, depending on when they like to pick. After that, then you got your guy. What we found is people try to work down the field. If you try to do it too long, you get yourself in about as much trouble by doing what you did. So usually we find out if they're going to hot and they think it's a hot game, we're going to get it within 4 yards. The hardest one is when they both do the same thing. Both out, both slant.
Right. Well, the hardest thing is if the outside guy goes vertical and the inside guy goes out, isn't it?
Well, a little bit. We work on that all the time. The hardest thing for this guy, because he's anticipating somebody coming at him, is when they both run double slants, and so when he's giving an in call, because he's sitting here giving an in call, and that guy ain't helping him. He's got to drive back late because that guy's already drove on that.
Right.
This is hardest because of the route that's coming to it. When this guy does this and this, you know, that would be the. But that's not the hardest communication one that you have. That's the hardest because they're running away from you.
Right.
corner will come out
On
with
the
a shallow
safest.
one.
Yep. That's why you can't let them be any more than inside and outside eye when they play the banjo, because if they work too far inside, he really doesn't have a chance.
How close do they gotta get together before you start?
4.
4?
No, if they get 4 or smaller, then they got a chance with banjo. Any wider than that, we won't do it,
Okay, so say they're 5, make them 5 yards apart.
okay?
Now, is anybody gonna press? You didn't, or they both all at the same level?
No, the corner's probably gonna press. Our rule is usually if you have, without even putting this guy, whether it's 5 or not, usually the inside guy, outside guy will press. The inside guy will play off unless you are inverting people, and then we will press the guy that's on the line of scrimmage.
That's about the same thing you do in it, Will? Okay, go ahead.
Bullets only with 0, Gary?
No, if you give us, well, for example, you'll see in our practice, our game deal, let's say you're getting pro set. Okay? I will play 2 blue Bronco to this, because Bronco told him he's got the vertical of 2, and he's got the flats, so basically you're handling it there, you already basically got a banjo. Cover 2 is a banjo, you got an outside, inside. So you can run in 2 backs easily, whether it's twins or pro, you can run all you want to run and handle everything that they can do pass-wise. Because he's sitting off, different than 3 deep, he's sitting on the choice where anything that's going to happen, you got a first guy outside, you got a first guy outside this direction. The only thing is that people, are getting split back teams are going to run things inside, but if they're doing that, usually you're holding them because they're also usually reading running backs or linebackers.
So you have only 2 blue Bronco versus 21 person?
No, well, just whatever, in our zone coverage, like one back, we play USC. We play USC, and I play, and they're getting 11 personnel. The second, third down, we run bullets, and we played, because they didn't ever release their back, we played 2 blue or blue 5, whatever. Wouldn't usually you play a 5 call back here because, you're leaving yourself really underneath zone, but we played 2 blue to them and ran linebackers through with them 2 or 3 times. Because again, you got a natural progression. The only thing you're not handling is that, and we're going to probably have a hard time if we're blitzing 6 and they only have 5 blocking us, and we're not getting there anyway.
So you just play blue on the other side?
Yep. Didn't even play Bronco then.
The thing with your blue is a little bit that if that tight end went to the flat right now, the corner would play him, and that safety would go. See, I saw that in your practice tape. One time that safety had a hard time getting to that guy. They ran tight end flat, take off, and that safety, was beat pretty good. That makes me a little nervous, But,
Understand? There's a whole bunch of things about my practice that make a lot of people nervous. But for us, I trade some things for as hard as I play the safeties on their own. A lot of people play the coverage where guys are shuffling backwards and then they come up to their leg guys. That's just part of it.
Is there, when you get into this, you're running bullets with your base zones, doing some things, is there anything that gets you out of that? I mean, is there something that happens?
We'll even run it versus empty.
Show me.
Because when you go to empty, probably what I'm going to call us, then for an empty call, I'd use special, I'd use Bronco. So the special, we're over here. Yeah, and now we're playing Bronco. So basically, we're in a man-kind conscious. The only thing we're turning loose is that guy goes there. But I mean, we ran bullets and run double pop, which means we're running them through, and the tackles are whichever way they step, and then they step out.
Yeah.
Now, see, I guess my point with you is we're talking cover and do it.
about any way anybody wants to do it because the front covers don't have anything to do with each other. I can drop, like, against people who run jailbreaks.
Right.
We'll call a double stay call, which stay tells us that the ends are going to step. They're going to, if you get a run read, they're going to play run. If they get a pass set, then they're opening and looking for jailbreaks. Because we get a lot of jailbreak teams in the WAC. So you run the linebackers through, and they became your quick set, quick hot guys on both sides. And that's a really good call versus empty groups.
Yeah, we use that as part of our tornado.
But again, we didn't like to do that a whole lot because we get such pressure out of the four-man group.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Right.
you know which guys do you want to sacrifice with? Unless you're breaking protections, and you definitely have a make on it. All right. Smokes.
Okay, before you go to smokes, Gary,
Yes, sir.
I want to explain this a little bit later on all the different ways you bring bullets. You got Okie, you got AB.
Oh, we can do that.
Cross.
Well, the biggest thing is we're going to call the front, just like you see on the watch. We're going to tell the linebackers where to run through. So we call tight G. We call tight G, and we're going to say, for linebackers, we're just running gaps. If we don't say anything, they're running through their gap responsibility in the defense. So if you call tight G bullets, Sam, the Eagle side backers running through the A gap, and the Mike's running through the B gap. If once we become a double call, then it's whatever front you have. You saw today, for example, last night, outlaws, so they lined up in double threes, and we went bullets B. So you create anything you want to. They cross.
If I just said outlaw bullets, they're just running through the A.
That's correct.
Boundary, Toro, bullets, Okie.
Okay? Boundary says the three technique to the boundary. Boundary Toro. He didn't use a G call, so
So he's gonna
the hand was
cross
here.
Yeah.
Boundary Toro, bullets Okie. Okie is a linebackers on the same side stunt. The side of the stunt, the Mike, which is the Mike, goes right now. He will read if he gets past set or back away, then he's wrapping. If he gets back to him, as in a run fake, then he will play. He's the read side backer of that deal.
He boards. He's not. He's only.
He's a flow blitz.
Yes,
Toro
sir.
blitz.
Now we also, you see in
He's
there.
going to flow.
Yes, sir. If sometimes you will all see Okie cross.
Yeah.
And what Okie cross means is he will now
Yeah, that.
hit the A gap, and then if he gets anything away, he is the route guy. Okay? Now,
Does he have that back?
no, the free safety has them.
Do you always run Okie bullets with a Toro?
Most of the time. Could run it with a tank if you wanted to. If you wanted to, like our offense, you want to get the guy outside to make sure you handle speed option. If there's a tight end, it's better to call it a tank because now you're stepping the guy outside the tight end.
Tank or Toro, huh?
Yes, sir.
What coverage you running
And-
in smokes?
Huh?
No, smoke it.
No.
Bullets?
Zero.
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 Now, it's what the question you asked just before. You can run zero. Any of the bullets can be run with
Two blue Bronco.
two blue. You know, I mean, if you're two back, then we can get into the other coverages. We call our one-man stunts with our linebackers Sam, Mike, Mo, Sal, which is Sam and Mike's telling them to run through their gaps. Unless we change it, you know, like Sam tag, which we're taking the three technique and A gap to bring
Well,
them.
what did you move on to? You got off of bullets?
No, I'm getting into bullets.
Single.
These are single linebacker stunts. And the reason why you have to know this means Mike off the edge, out wide, Sam out wide. So the next way that we call bullets so you can create a 4-3,
How do you pronounce that third word?
Sal,
No, third one.
Mo,
No.
Mow one.
yeah, kind of.
Like mow one. Yeah, mow.
Let's say you want to get to a double eagle look. So the call is tight take, Mo, take toward the 50 side end and come in just like it does if you were in front, tight take, Mo.
Mo, thank you, Coach. Mo told the Mike at snap, right before the snap, the ball to walk up off the out wide and come. Since you didn't tell Sam anything, just like you said, tight bullets, he's running through the A gap.
Give me the whole call again, Gary.
Tight take Mo, tight take bullets Mo.
Well, it's not.
I think that's on the, I think it's a stinger behind the Mo.
So if I'm an end, I hear the word no also,
You'll read it.
I'll read it.
You'll read it off. You'll read it off your watch. But you don't care because all the word it meant to you was you were told what to do because you heard take. Take told him to go in the B gap. If you didn't hear him take, what that guy, if he walked off the edge, would do is he'd come up and say fire like a safety does when we're going to talk about smokes. He'd walk up and say fire, which is telling him I'm contained now. That guy fans.
You're saying take just in case that guy didn't say.
Well, I'm wanting to go in the B gap no matter what because I'm going to protect myself gap wise. And basically, I was now making a double eagle look.
He was saying the fire call is if Mike say was scheduled to go inside, but he got removed by
Yeah, well,
personnel.
you know, we're going to talk about that in a switch call. That's exactly right.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now what about
So if let's just
show call? You said was show zone or something like that?
yeah, what bullets show is because we don't know which when you're in a 4 wide situation, we don't know if you're going to come out trips open or you're going to come out doubles. Okay, so when we put the word show on it, what we're saying is the way we taught it is we're showing zone. So who's going to remove? Who would remove themselves in a normal zone situation? In this case, the Mike would. We call it with a tight G10, so we're playing double twos.
Get a fire call there.
Safety walk, the linebacker walks out here because he knows he's going to come off the edge. He's giving a fire call to the end because let him know he's coming off the edge. So now what we look like is what we look like in coverage. Now right before the snap the ball, because what we do though is if you sit behind if this Sam sits behind, the back sits behind the quarterback, he doesn't know which way he can go. You don't want to be just telling him to run through here and you don't have anybody in the gap. So what he does is flow blitz. So whichever way the back goes, he's running through that B gap. Mike's coming off the edge. Like our offense does, and they get 4 wide out, so they're going to be back most of the time in gun and offset. So right now, that Sam linebacker knows he's coming. So what have we created over here?
4-man,
4 man off the side. We're using our linebackers and we're in zone. Now, they come out and they line up and trips open.
That'll be done again.
Now Sam's walked out because that's what he does in their zone concept. Now he's the guy giving a fire call. Now this guy now, because the back's there, he's going to be coming off this edge. Again, and that's what we want most of the time because that's the man protection side anyway. That's the man protection side. We're going to try to beat the guy one-on-one. We like backs on backers.
Stay in your zone with that?
Could.
Like with
For,
solo call or something?
Yeah, or the Bronco call.
True blue Bronco.
And usually I'd use a special call with this because I'm going to cover it up just a little bit more. Too many things can happen over here. So I'd call special, I'd call Bronco to tell us we're going to vertical number 2 with the weak safety, and I've got him out flat. And special, now the only thing special does not help you with is a hard smash inside because that's where the linebacker's always done good special.
Yeah.
So that's when if you think that's what their hots are, then what you have to do is you're going to have to pull somebody out like you guys do.
Yeah.
So you could say when this guy comes over here, when the Sam, we build it in, the Sam could walk up instead of saying fire, he can say drop
Down the
or
end.
stay.
Yeah.
So the guy now, he's going to come off the edge of the animal step and he's going to open up to play the jailbreak.
Yeah.
But again, it's a plethora of what you want to do. How do you want to build in the call to get your perfect call to stop what they do? I'm just going to give you words.
Yeah.
Just, basically like you guys do along the ways with your 50 stuff. But again, we're like, because of that watch, you're like kids in a candy store because
It's all right there.
Well, you just build a sentence. How do you want to do it to break protection? All you do is you come over the front. Well, you see they have, like our offense in the practice floor. We've always 3 technique cross the face on the tight end side, backer and V.
Yeah.
So to start the year off with, we started with a split call. Okay, so the 3 started split call, and we went the opposite way. We ran the linebacker through the A, and they never picked it up all day. Now that's pretty simple, but the tackle had to use the eyes one time. We made the guard use his eyes, and the guard didn't do a very good job of it. But we only usually go up to 10 on bullets, and probably in a game plan, you probably only use maybe 4, depending on how much one back. Because most of the time, bullets, we're going to use it versus one back more. We're going to use 2 back. Because if you're a hard running team, I don't really like bullets a lot because of the ISO and stuff. You don't have an overlap player. That's why dogs is a lot better. Is a lot better blitz. Just like double smoke, we're going to get into is a whole lot better 2-back blitz than it is a 1-back blitz because of the 1-back cutback. Because that safety coming off the backside edge has got to be a boot player. Can't be a cut, especially against 2 tight ends, 1-back. Unless you coach him up to be slow, and then you take away also his aggressiveness.
See something on here, Gary, you got like,
Okay?
bullet slide number 10.
TCU. We're playing TCU. What happens is they're very back, and USC, that's the reason we did it to USC, because when they got offset backs, 99% of the time that's where they're going, okay? And I can even go back to the front, look at this too. But what we did is we created what a 4-3 team would do if we were in bullets. So the call was tie G bullet slide. What was it? Sam tag? What was the, was there something inside? What did it say besides bullet? Or just say,
Bullet slide number 10.
okay, then look under bullets number 10 and see what it says on that watch on the game plan.
TG.
Tie G,
Tight G bullet slide.
okay? What we're doing then is the linebacker, whoever slid over, was going to be the A-gap player. What slide was, if they came up with an eye back, or they cheated, which USC was a big offset. Before the snap, what happened was he walked up, he ran through the backside, we just did a 4, and he made a fire call, and we created a 4-3. Weak safety walked himself down in the box. He had the remaining back, and we had the banjo just like you normally do between the safeties. So we slid like our slide call, and we built it into a bullets call.
Did the mic read it or just go?
No, he's going because he's not like he's crossing formation where a guy's crossing. He's basically, because he went to a slide, that was his gap responsibility.
Slide helped.
Now, if you came out weak backs, then we just ran through our gaps. Because you're not in a slide situation. Yeah. And also now they're running peel or zone cutback, where they're stepping, everybody's going in that direction. What our offense calls peel. Again, I'm going back to building a perfect call for what we think they do with them. Which that was a 2-back situation. That would not be a 1-back call. That bullet splits.
Right, I believe that was under
21 personnel.
You have 21 personnel as your top, and then you have blitz. So all these blitzes
Yeah,
21.
yeah, because they didn't use very many personnel groups.
Okay.
Now, when we play somebody like Tulsa, I won't ever have a chance to have all those categories because they got 5 to 7 personnel groups. You about have to put it on the back.
I can't think of anybody who don't play that doesn't.
That's about the name of the game. The only person we played this year wasn't like that was SMU.
Pinch is your 4-man start.
Yeah, they're always down to 5. Huh?
What is it?
20 and 21 personnel, 2-back. And then they try to get in 4 wide and couldn't protect him. That's why our third thing the friend does, they killed themselves the first 2 weeks because they lost 3 starting offensive linemen, a wide receiver, a DB, a defensive tackle. SMU.
And that's why everything, we do so much HUD stuff. That's why in the first scrimmage we had, we don't usually ever tackle very well. Because everything's live. We get a lot of live, but we never take backs to the ground. And it's always, it's kind of an in-between there. We never touch quarterbacks, so we get the first scrimmage, and it's always kind of.
So what does stud mean? Like say
Stud means live to the ball. It means everyth's full speed except, and you thought him up. I mean, you try to tackle him, but you better start grabbing him if he starts falling down.
Let's just say you run a toss sweep, and he breaks into the secondary. Is everybody thudding him?
Yes. In fact, we will, a lot of times, until 3 people get there. First guy's a big thud, and everybody else, we won't blow until 3 people touch it.
That's the same way. Coach Majors.
Now, what that has helped us is that's about like our Kansas team. I think one of the things that's helped us is to be able to stay healthy by the end of the year.
Plus the backs are getting hit. How about receivers? How about if a receiver runs a dig, you thudding him up down the field?
If we get the same, we get to where the ball at the same time, he may get a concussion because we're going to break on the ball.
Yeah, we do that. We're live to the ball, but
If he catches it, we're going to thud him somewhere down there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's real hard to thud if you're chasing, so if we let him behind him, we're pretty much shit out of luck. Anyway, finish up bullets. You can make anything you want to. You can go, when we start talking about our blitz package, you can go for hours on all this. Biggest thing is the concept of making sure you understand what causes people in man coverage to not want to blitz is they don't think they can get everybody covered. When I'm telling you with a 5-man secondary, that never really becomes ever a problem, just how you decide on a game-to-day basis because you always have a lot of people off the ball. You don't put people in leverage situations, and if they get in a leverage situation, they check banjo.
Single Sam or Mike is just the one guy, right?
Yes.
Playing a boy.
So if you want to go Tai Chi and Sam and play 0 free.
Now, Gary, just once again going back a little bit here, our Sam is a little bit more of an outside linebacker. I mean, but they're both 4'6". Is that similar to what you have?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's
It's not the best world that I've ever had. Can he backpedal? Does he ever backpedal?
I know the one guy, that's for sure.
That'd be a question. If not, then you're going to play him with these out in space and play him some man. You're going to have to learn to. Unless you're going to shuffle him at 5 and be physical, which some people play me like that. Which there's goods and there's pluses to both of them. As long as he gets his hands on it.
Okay.
Now, smokes is built in. You're going to find just like our front calls. Tighten split, formation calls. Field and boundary, hash calls. Everything in our blitz package is the same way when you start talking about safeties. Wide and short, we're going to bring a safety from the wide side of the field or the short side of the field. Thunder and lightning, tight end, and we ran out of S words, so we use lightning for the split inside. Okay?
And just out of curiosity,
Sure.
why do you not use T and S like you do with your dogs?
Could. Just T and S have always just gone along with it.
They hear T and S, they're thinking dogs. Because you could certainly say T smoke or
Yeah.
S smoke, right? Just
Yep.
like you're saying wide smoke and short smoke.
Like Brent Guy runs a package of Boise, he calls it storm when they bring
Brent run the same stuff.
Yeah. Down to the. Yeah, because he took my corner coach that played for me at Utah State that went to Navy. Now just went back to Navy as the corner coach, Chuck McMillan. But the other thing that you have is you have double that goes along with this, meaning coming from both sides. Now, why this again becomes important, and I don't care what the front is, okay? We can make, again, anything we want to front wide and tie this in. We're just going to talk coverage and how you teach a blitz. We're going to line up the formation, so if I call wide smoke, whatever safety, strong safety, weak safety, ends up the wide side of the field is the guy running the blitz. Okay? If I wanted this guy to line up here, and this guy was the worst man player I had, then I would call wide.
I go wide smoke, wide cover 0, which means I'm telling the reef that how we're going to line up to the wide side of the field no matter what, just like I do with wide 2 blue sky solo. Okay? So wide smoke, here I come. Fire, fire, fire. It's telling the ends, just like the linebacker does. Okay? If I call it, now, why we do this, wide smoke, because the free safety and these guys don't care what the front is. You could be twisting, you could be slamming, you could be playing base. But the free safety knows when I give him wide smoke, that's where I'm starting my count. So when he goes over here, wide smoke, he says, reading left, I got 87. Now, just going back to your man rules. If both these guys were in the backfield, and he's, because one man smokes, reading left, I got 87, the linebackers are handling the 2 guys. If this guy is out of the box somewhere, this backside safety is going to be the guy that's going to handle that guy. So if they came over and lined up in trips, which is going to be your next answer, weak safety has that guy. Because we don't walk linebackers out of the box to play man. In our thing, we don't like them doing that. And I'm going to get into another call here as soon as we're going to double. So without slowing down, so you keep the concept, short smoke coming from the short side. Reading right, I got the tight end. Okay? Thunder, tight end side, so he's coming from here. Lightning, he's coming from split inside. If they had 2 of anything in our whole package, if you called Thunder and there was 2 tight ends, that is going to mean strength. So if they come out balanced, we're coming from the left or from the field with a Thunder. If we call Lightning and they came out with 2 split end sides, so that's 2 split sides. Lightning means weak. Besides split, they come from the split inside or from the boundary or from the right. It was in the middle of the field. Now, I'm going to use this because this is the hardest scenario. And this is the way this has to work, and so that you understand. We called double. How do I get this? Double, 0, let's say we played press. So we told the corners to play press, we're playing 0, play man. They come up and line up in a spread formation. The free safety is going to read where?
Double, read strong.
It's going to read strong. So where's the strength of passing formation?
Read left.
Reading left. So free safety says reading left, and this is how this works. Because now, when we call double smoke, we look at, you go on the smokes category, so let's just say, what's first one, tight T double smoke? So the linebackers know we're in the smokes category and it's double, I am now part of coverage. So they're going to listen to free safety, not the safety, because the safeties are gone. So the free safety comes up and he says, reading left, I got him. So the read side linebacker, just like he does in coverage, which he either thinks middle drop or vertical, if he was in zone, he now goes, well, I got to find my 3. Well, he looks out here, doesn't see a tight end, so he keeps finding. There he is. And there he is. And I'll show you how this works, so it's never, oh, if you're wrong, you're right. Let's say I got a freshman free safety, and this is the field. They came out with pro to the field and twin to the boundary, and he's screwed up. So he says reading right, I got the tight end. Okay? So he goes here. Well, now this is read side guy, so he goes here. This guy walks out here, you don't see anybody, just sees that guy. So I'm not covering that guy. So he says switch. Safety backs up. Play zone, he walks up, says the fire, and he runs the smoke. Now, just so that you know, we teach this exact concept. So now let's say 4 wides, double smoke. So which way is the free safety reading? If that's the field, reading left. Now this linebacker's got the back.
Switch.
He comes out here, switch. Now he's playing it, he walks and plays it. Now, I'm smart enough, if you come out 4 wides, I'm not calling double smoke, so that's not that much communication is not going to happen in the game. If they came out and these were 2 tight ends and I called double smoke, I want to make sure my guys can handle it. But the rule is, again, I keep using the word common sense. I'm going to tell them, common sense, do you want to cover him? No, I don't want to cover him. He's out right on 1, then I say a switch call. If they're going to give me this, then I'm going to find bullet show as a way to do what we just did.
Right.
That would be my answer. But if they came out in a personnel formation where they gave you something where you weren't ready to handle it, we're going to build in a rule.
You could run a Thunderbolt show. Right?
Yeah, well, if I wanted to say call, I would call Thunder Mo.
Thunderbolt. Yeah.
So I'm bringing the strong side guy and walking the Mike linebacker up, and you're getting a 6-1 blitz.
You would tell them.
And I think that's one of the card calls. If you look on the generic one from camp that we're starting spring with.
Yeah.
Gary, go back to a single smoke again.
Yes, sir.
Just give me like a 11 person, normal 11 personnel set.
Okay.
Okay, and give me a wide.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me what weak safety's doing?
He's got number 2 man. So that's his rule in zero when we drew up the basic zero coverage. If I'm not coming, then I have anybody outside the tackle, number 2.
What makes him go across the box and trips?
Because when it's one back, linebackers aren't going to walk out of the box. Trips is always a common sense, huh?
He's the one back adjusted.
Yes.
Okay, so I got 2 backers in there that both have that,
Fiddle. Fiddle.
fiddle on the back.
Now, obviously, now I don't, it's not the best situation, but that's not bad if I'm playing the run and it's first down because I'm trying to keep them there. Now, it's a pass call and I only want to bring one safety, okay? And I want a guy free. Our call to tell a linebacker to cover a tight end, no matter what, is rebel. So, my call is wide smoke, 0 free rebel. Now I know I added another covered guy, so 0 free rebel linebacker, free. So the tight end came out here, whoever's going to be on his, whatever the front call is, makes no difference. That linebacker has the tight end. We're coming off the edge.
He's still just doing his 3. He finds 3, right?
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry.
he finds his tight end. Most times, we don't use very many single smokes. A lot, unless it's 2 back, but we will, like Colorado State in the WAC championship game 3 years ago. We used a lot of wide smoke and we tied a line in the call. We, like I was telling you, Field G Army, so we're slanting. They're a big zone team. We're slanting to the boundary. We're bringing a wide smoke. Now, on first down, I wouldn't call a rebel call that. I'd leave them alone because, you know, it's so much run. But now we're slanting. We're actually adding 7 guys to the box, but I'm doing it with the blitz.
Yeah, I mean, here in this game plan right here, you have out of 10, you've got 1. You only have 1. It's not a double.
Yep.
So 9 are doubles.
Yep. Most of the time, and see, most of the time I won't put a single smoke on that call because
A double smoke, one of your inside linebackers would cover a tight end automatically.
yes, or somebody's going to end up covering a number 2 wherever that number 2 is, number 2 weak, because that's his rule.
The tight end, you
Yeah,
take
the tight
wide
end,
out of
the
the
back.
space.
Yeah.
Removed, that's
Tight end
your switch
rotation.
call.
Now, the other thing is that how you get away from that is either a cop call. Like for us on first down, I have no problem running double smoke, and I don't want my linebackers to have to worry about man and worry about gaps. So we're playing even a 12 personnel team. We want to bring safeties off the edge because they're going to be in zone, and I don't want to like free safeties reading left. I got the tight end, cap, and I'll call a comp, which the call side end is going to play it. So let's put it on the hash. So if it was type G, we'd call type G the field because it's balanced, just like we do our coverage rules, blitz rules, and everything else. So cop left, free safety says reading right, I got the tight end.
Okay.
Now I got guys that
Through the whole call there.
You want to slant? You want to just play base?
Type G.
Okay. I think it might be under the cop category. The call would be type G, double smoke cop. Cover 0 cop.
Double smoke cop. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
the
got
free safety has to know that the
I give him the coverage.
Cop.
0 cop.
0.
Now, I gave Mark whatever that would be on that wristband, cop number 3. I don't know what it is. Or cop number 1. So I go cop number 1, it says Tai G double smoke cop. So I say cop number 1, Mark. So he signaled in, they read Tai G double smoke cop. Coverage wise, my guys don't need to know what's going on up. So I go 0, cop, press.
Okay, so I'm the free safety now. I normally would be say reading left, okay? But I know I got a cop call, and I know that the cop is happening to what side?
Left or field.
Okay, doesn't matter with the front. Left or
In this
field.
case, the middle of the field is going to be left, because that's the way our fronts are always going to be called. If it's in the middle of the field and it's balanced, we're calling strength left. Whether it's split in, no tight ends or 2 split in, or 2 tight ends. If it's on the hash, then the strength's always going to be the field.
Right.
Free safety just got to climb. I mean,
He's the one, just like the weak safety, he's the one back adjuster. Now, both backs are in the backfield, and I want to bring it,
and I knew there were 21 personnel, I could easily call zero free cop. Because I know both these guys are going to be back here, these guys got them, and weak safety's coming. Now, in zero free cop, he also knows, though, for whatever reason, they put the tailback at H, and we ain't going to walk a linebacker. What might happen, though, if they were using it and they didn't think he was part of it, you might walk around and say, what to the safety?
Say,
Switch.
Yeah.
And so what you'd end up is you'd end up with a 6-1 blitz instead of a 6-2 blitz.
Let me ask you a question, Gary. Back to the 12 with the cop double.
Yes, sir.
Ball State a couple years ago put the tight ends as number ones and the wideouts as number twos.
Then if you know that,
Switching it.
yeah, if they catch you doing it, you didn't know they were going to do it,
Right.
then we're only going to happen once.
What would happen though? Would they switch it?
Yeah.
Knock on a cop.
Yeah, what happens is if he doesn't
He's
have a
detached.
if he doesn't have a tight end and a tight end
Yeah.
formation, what he's going to do is, so if he heard cop left and he knows he's the Liz, and this tight end came up and lined up out here, even not out there, he would say switch, he'd widen and he'd run the smoke, this guy'd play coverage.
Let's say the tight end was number one, when your corners automatically know to cover the wideouts, and that guy safety would cover number.
Probably what would happen when the switch call, they would stay within their personnel unless they gave it a lot, and then we won the corners to cover those guys.
Mhm.
But I don't like doing that a whole lot, because our safeties are supposed to be able to cover man, because again, you're telling them you're a man coverage, because one's playing this. Now Duke, we played at Duke at Navy. I mean, they were putting running backs and tight ends out the outside, and when we got them, we were man coverage. The safety would walk out on the running back, and the corner would come in and play on the wide receiver. But I don't like to have to do that unless they predominantly stay in that. And, you know, it's not a surprise deal. But if they're predominantly doing that, then you can game plan it. But I don't do it as a general rule. We try to stay.
to us this year, Eastern, right? Didn't they?
Raz-
Yeah,
Oh,
Easter did.
out of 12 personnel.
He was at Utah. I think he's a pretty good offensive lineman.
Who's that?
Rasley.
Offensive line coach?
That's what he was initially before he became
Offensive coach.
coordinator and head coach. They were pretty good on offense at Utah when he was there. I don't know if they were at Eastern, but
Yeah, they're good.
the coach, they could. Now, you know why the flip call came about? The flip call came about because of Utah. Because everywhere the back was in a two-back set, that's where the play where they were trying to overload you. So they came back and put the back the tight end side. We wanted to play sky and overload that side. When they put it to the field, I didn't want the sky call still back there. We wanted to be able to have an adjuster so we could get 5-on-3. Because they always had a whole lot better players than we did at Utah State. Anyway, so in hypothetical and what we teach, if you want to check your guys' hole cards, and I called double smoke, and they came up with 21 personnel and they came out in empty, what's going to happen on both sides? Double switch. So if I knew that was 5 wideouts, so on your card, does it say on the card, does it say a Bullets Aztec?
Yeah.
See, for us, then an empty team, and then we're worried about quarterback draw. We're worried about quarterback draw. Empty is usually a pinch. We wrap guys, and Aztec tells our guys, just like you do with Hamburger, they're going to show their zone look like they wanted out to empty. And now we've got a pinch, and we're bringing 6, but we're showing a zone look.
Where would Aztec be? Where?
I don't think it's on there. It's on this watch over here. Under bullets, what is
It's
it?
on both of mine, under,
Number
bullet 3, there.
Oh, yeah, it says it right there.
Now, for our guys playing our offense, see, it's built in for ours because the reason you see Aztec Stinger,
Because you want quarterback play.
because you want these guys not coming off the edge going for pitch, because that's what they normally do against our guys. You better play the quarterback because they're going to run speed option in at 4 wides. So now we can walk up and these guys are going to make sure the ball gets out of his hands.
It's going to take the pitch.
Well, we'll get into, but without doing anything else, he can, but I'm going to show you a new thing we're working. He got from Texas Tech. We call it a help call. We actually turn in man free, and actually we'll play outside leverage. And because the option happens so fast,
Yeah.
whichever side in man free, this guy reads fast. If it happens to him, if he's drop back and he going ahead and shuffle reads and plays man free, this guy gets over the top of everybody. But instead of playing squared shoulders, we're turned in looking at the ball read just like a corner does 3-step real quick, playing on the outside leverage, because we know we got a guy that can drive and help us.
And
But that's a hard deal, and that's why I say our offense makes us be pretty sound in a lot of things we do. Because when we blitz, we got to be able to handle option in everything that we do. within the blitz. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Chuck.
I'm just gonna say that, you know, that's no different than cover 3 principle.
And guess what? That's one of the things you could do out of this if you wanted to.
So,
But in empty, it's a pretty good call because there is no possibilities. Now, obviously, in empty, this is a good call. When the Aztecs, a good call because your linebacker is going to walk out and show their zone alignment for wall. The call, and then you can still play special. You can play Bronco. You can play a zone concept if you wanted to. Because a lot of people read and see if this guy's here, then they're not going to run the smash before the guy leaves. Again, you could do it, and you build into Aztec that you want to make a double drop call. You know, we could do it, and we could run double text with the guys coming off the edge like we did last night. Again, we can stand here all day lining up because the front covers don't have anything to do with each other.
What's interesting is I think we've all done that. I think at Pitt I called that double gun when they ran double text and, you know, brought 2 guys off the outside. But again, it was, you know, meatloaf or meatball.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is
you had to remember it.
Well, that's the thing is you just read it off the wristwatch now. And the other thing, the best thing about it is the front doesn't care. I mean, the coverage doesn't care. All they know it's either bullets, it's double smoke, and you're telling them so they can set the coverage. Because I'm telling you, I mean,
Who makes your switch call? The linebacker? Or the
linebacker,
safety?
always the
He's the one who says, I'm not covering that guy's switch.
Yeah, bullshit. Now, obviously, again, go back
A
to
little bit like our Yugo call.
But again, I try to control that as much as possible. I try not to put them in that kind of situation where they have to do anything.
You know they're going to be in that personnel group.
What
They're
if
not
you
gonna-
call ball or so?
You know, and you have to, like cop calls, if there's somebody that's going to line up tight ends everywhere, and probably cop call's not going to be a big part of our game plan.
Right, because now the safety's got to do a little bit of thinking, correct?
But if
You've
you're
got to know which end's involved in the cop call and where to go.
well, it's not so much that as if they're walking him off and smoshing him or lining up in a wideout or something like that. Really, that cop call thing, as far as where the guy reads, is not really a big deal because basically all I tell the free safeties handle the one back set. So if he's got a cop left, you're going to go find it. If you put a twins out there, it'd be a lot easier for him.
Put up 11 with a cop call. So he's just going to the tight end wherever he is.
Yeah, then I gave you the hardest example, 12.
Okay.
But this is easy now with double smoke because free safety's just finding this number 2 wherever he is because the corner's crossed himself out.
That guy steps, the
Say it
tight
again
ends,
now, wait, whoa. Draw up, who's got who?
Free safety's reading strength, strong safety's coming, weak safety's coming up from the back end, linebacker's got a fiddle. Now, obviously, again, if I want to keep a guy free in this system, which we do some, I call Thunder, and I call Mo, and I called Comp. So now, free. He'd be the free guy because of the way he come out. If they lined up in spread, and I used a cop call because now I added an extra coverage player. I added a cop call, and I said, Mo, Sam's got the back, free safety's got him, weak safety's the free player. Because what we're going to do is we're going to give you a zone alignment, however we are. Actually, this is wrong. He's coming. Strong safety's got him, free safety's free. Because this is the weak safety. And all that happened because of rules. Rules, strong safety took number 2 just like he did in regular 0. It didn't change because it was Mo Thunder.
Right.
That's his rule. Free safety would have normally came back here because it had a Thunder call. He didn't come back here because I gave him what call? Gave him a cop. So now his coverage part of it's taken care of. Again, we have a way to be safe. We want to be. It depends on how good people we're playing. I mean, as a general rule, it holds up. You can blitz lesser teams a whole lot more than you can blitz real good teams if they can throw football. So really good. Well, like in the Hawaii game. Hawaii game, we're doing a lot more at first, a lot more zone voiding, not to give up a big play and play in a regular zone coverage, and got lucky on a couple of them and bringing bullets because that's pretty sound. Instead of later in the game, all of a sudden we're running short dog with 0 and the free safety sliding clear over and handling the guy. because I'm trying to add one more guy to the party. Dogs?
Yeah. Anybody have any question on smokes?
Now, let's go back one more thing on smokes. We have four
You got
types.
your lion?
Yeah, we have four types of smokes. Smokes, also, now how you want to change people up, we have lions, we have rage, and we have stinger. What lion tells us when I call, it's going to be under the smokes category. Everybody understands that lions, rages, and smokes still talk just like smoke. The only difference, the safety and somebody else is doing something different. When we call lion, so it'd be double lion instead of double smoke, type G double lion. So now when we come up, safety's he'll go, instead of saying fire, fire, fire though, now they're saying lion, lion, lion. What a lion is, guy wide in the last moment, he becomes the pitch player. I become the tight off the ass, first thing shows quarterback player on both sides. If the tight end's there, option responsibilities.
Ends are first.
Hands are first. Okay? Now, just like double smoke, didn't change coverage. Where's the free safety reading here?
Read left.
Reading left, he's got him. Linebacker finds him. Linebacker finds the backside tight end. Put back two backs, and that becomes a whole lot simpler. But I always teach versus one back because this is the hardest. You got to be able to, kids, for people to be able to
Put that tight end out and you get a switch call.
get a switch call, and the linebacker would say lion, because he read the call off the wristband too. That's the neat thing.
The other
Is
thing,
it? Go ahead.
with the smoke, does the end know, like just a single smoke, you know, a thunder? Is that safety give him a fire call? Is he reading his watch? He doesn't even know the smoke's coming.
No, because you know what I'll do to our hands to see if they're paying attention? Let's just say we're in a game, and the calls I got on there with Lion, okay, I don't like one of them. I want to run one of those fronts, or we're running with smoke, but I want to run those fronts that you're having with smoke, but I want to run lions. So what I tell Mark, I say, Mark, smoke's one. So he looks down and he signals in, tie G double smoke, okay? But I give the safeties double lion. Safety walks up to the end and says, lion, 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 because the end's going to do what the safety tells him. So I did it in the practice, well, not in the practice of the day, but when we went, you're going to check your young kid's hole card, who are they listening to? Because their ends are told, you do what the safety tells you to do. Okay,
So
so
even though the end reads his watch and he sees double smoke, so initially he's thinking, I'm coming down inside.
well, I'm probably going to get a fire call.
Yeah.
But then the safety walks up and says double line. Again, all it is, but now I got a different front. We're going in a game, and I want a line call, but I'm not getting the front I want.
Sure.
Okay? So I'll go ahead and give him a generic whatever I want on there, and then now obviously I can't run a line if I got a double twist going on inside, but I could if I had just a single twist between the top two tackles. And I wanted that twist, but I also wanted a double line. So I call that one with double tie G twist, double smoked. The only difference is I'm going to call tie G twist, and I'm going to give him a double line call. So that's what a lion is. Again, lions can be done right just like smokes. It could be a wide line, short line, thunder line, lightning line. Same way. One from the field, one from the boundary, one from the tight end. Just add the word. Again, it's not like you signal a whole lot because all I'm doing is thunder, lion. The rest of those guys are just reading it. Again, the same thing. If I had a tight G thunder call on that wristwatch in the smokes and I wanted to be a lion, I'm just going to tell safety thunder lion, and now he's going to tell the end on that side to run a lion call instead of running a smoke. Rage. Great for power O teams. Rage, we're going to wrap. What it's telling the rage tells the safety's going to come first. The end's going to stick and he's coming around. So now we want to take quarterback faster.
You know why I'm laughing, don't you?
Yeah.
What? Tell me.
We tried to
I
run
tried
this.
to do this against Missouri
Yeah, for power
for
O.
Power O.
What if the tight end, we got the tight end turning out on the safety?
They banned it
Yeah, and the end was kind of like in no man's land.
because they read him coming off the edge, so that's how they blocked the edge. Then I'd say you better stay away from rages.
We ran.
But if they block in or down,
Yeah.
he wrong the shoulder, everything, he's wrapping. Free safety comes to clean up. also do this for option against our offense.
The option, we had it in really for options. We thought we were gonna get options. That's why.
Power and option.
I tell you another call that's pretty good, and so that you can chase two-back teams. It's not on the tight end side, but on the split end side. A lot of people are doing it anymore. Is running a lightning rage, because you know the smoke on the backside when you have ball away and it's play action is responsible for boot.
Yeah.
But when you tell him rage, his ass is coming down like this, and now this guy's looping secondary for it. He's basically taking his place. He's got to come flat enough to take his place for cutback.
I like that.
Now that's
that's good.
now, and then Stinger.
Let me ask you,
Yes, sir.
Rage, all 4 smokes?
Yes, same way with Lion, same way with Lions, and just like Smokes. And all these 4 fall under the field, a hash call or
Stinger, you can run all 4 smokes with it too?
and I'm sure before we're done in the next 15 years, there'll be another call here that'll be added to Smokes of how we want to run it. Pretty soon, pretty soon we'll just have on these wristband. Okay, here's the zone calls and this is the blitz calls.
Hey, what if you didn't want a stunt or a twist? You just wanted a base stunt.
I just call tight G. He just signals tight
You
G.
don't signal. You don't go to the watch.
No, that's the way you just tight G, split G or any of them.
Oh, you talk about in terms of using your watch.
Yeah, if he didn't give you anything, then you. So if I told Mark we just want to line up a tight G, they wouldn't even look at the watch because he didn't give him a number. Because they're not going to look to the wristband unless he goes.
How's he let him know a stunt's coming?
Because he'll go tight G and they go.
What's
Because when he don't give any other signal, that means they're going to be in the stunt category. One means it means aim. Look under
if he
stunt.
doesn't- Okay. Tight G.
One.
Okay. If he wanted a twist.
Then he's going to look under twist category and he's going to go twist one. Go tight G, twist one.
Okay. How's he going to tell them to go twist? Okay. No call is a stunt.
Yep. No calls a stunt.
Twist. 1.
Dogs. 1. Smokes. 1. Bullets. 1.
So one of the things, just
Cop.
one of the coaching
1.
points right off the bat would be, you can't have a guy. I mean, they got to be looking, because if I'm Larry Can, I look over and I miss the twist and I see 1, I'm running a freaking aim.
That's why first scrimmage in the spring, the offensive coaches, the whole offense is out on the field.
Defense on the side.
Defense down on the sideline, and we're splitting. So you know what I'm checking? All those redshirt freshmen. Here's our nose guard. He's looking at the offensive huddle. Chad, what call is it? Because I'm watching him.
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know.
What do you mean you
You
don't
better
know?
start looking over here, or you're not playing another snap. So all of a sudden it's looking at the sideline so they can see twist number 3.
You don't have. Oh.
Mhm. Now, if like they're getting where they're moving on us, and I feel like we're getting a little bit rattled, we'll go
Yeah, we're doing
just to kind of get them in, but we'll never go like where you get up in front and the linebacker says tight G and the the safety says 2 blue sky. I mean that doesn't happen with us except when we do a drill where we're coming out of a huddle to get to something. And I tell you what, that's probably the first time closest to getting fired. The year we went 9-2, we're in 2-a-days, and he didn't think we had a lot of leadership on defense. It wasn't that. I mean, we're about the 4th day. He says, I want to huddle. I said, Coach, we can't huddle. Not the way we built this animal. He said, well, if I got a coordinator, most of my coordinators will listen to what I said. I said, well, I guess you need to find a coordinator who's better than I am, because I don't know how to do it with the way we call this anymore. So then about 20 minutes later, he walks in. All I want is a call. If I want to get them together, I can. Okay, I said, we got one for you. We already talked about it. Get the hell out of my office. All right. Okay, I know things are all right when I get thrown out at least once every 2 months. Get the hell out of my office. One time you got mad, Fred, Coach, he'd be mad. I said, get out. No, I said, I'm not leaving until you tell me why you're mad at me.
You did that?
Yeah. I ain't leaving until you tell me why you're mad at me. If I'm gonna get fired, I'll at least know why. That was back in the early years. It hadn't been like that the last 3. Most of the time I tell you the hardest thing I have, because he's the offensive coordinator, is making him feel like we're all together. Because it's my job to do it, because it's not his, because he's all, hey,
you guys are putting yourself on an island. How am I putting myself on an island? So, I mean, I try to get him over there to run the watch in our circuits, everything. So hey, Coach, why don't you talk to him today? I try to do everything I can, Coach, to make sure that he's part of it, because, you know, he just really, like right now we have a different quarterback coach. He's not on our field. And so hey, Coach, you gonna come over and watch circuit today? I mean, I got to go out of my way to make sure that I keep it blended. But he's been pretty good, because we give, you know, the drills, we give goals, objectives, and at the end of the week, you have to say yes or no. If you met those objectives, we write them every week. Well, one of our goals for the spring was to blitz more. So I waited 4 days, and then we started bringing. He don't consider linebackers running through blitzes anyway, because you're supposed to go to gap control, block them. And I didn't tell him we were going to come off the edge with them initially.
Like a mow?
Yeah, like mows and bullet show and some of those kind of things. So, but I mean, they didn't tell me they also were going to run empty either.
We tell every, we have
Speed option boot.
Now that was a new one too.
Yeah.
The speed option boot. Now that, I tell you what, if people play zone, that will be a problem for people.
What's that?
Oh, they're starting in one back. They're starting down the line, like instead of just faking the zone and booting, they're whirly-birding and running, taking the 5 steps like they run their one back option, 5 steps down, and then they're booting back the other direction. Well, everybody in the secondary, the first time that happened, because you know we're used to zone faking and holding, we had never seen them go. Here we come down the line, and then whoa, he's moved back. It's like, now this really going to have it put a whole new point to don't go till you know. There's a whole new point to this deal. But I tell you what, I said, I warned him. I said, now people are blitzing. You're not holding those safeties to attack the back coming off the edge if you don't fake to the zone. Sure enough, first day we put in bullets, the guy turned around twice, and that linebacker came through the gap and he was standing right next to him. Well, maybe we won't run as much. I said, no, it's a great deal as long as people are running zone and doing things like that, because we don't get as much blitz as a lot of people do. Our offense doesn't. They haven't. Now, the younger quarterback doesn't start running the option better, they're going to get a whole lot more. So they're not scared of Patrick Mattel. He ran for the Scouts the other day, ran 4.39 or something like that. That guy that played quarterback for us.
Yeah.
They moved him to wide receiver.
Where's he from? Patrick.
Elkins.
Doing all right, Kyle? Yeah, it's still
Houston.
Alif.
Yeah.
Oh, Alif Elsick.
Elsick, but there's also an Elkins down there. That's where Royce Huffman and all of them are from also, with our punter. Now, so last one. Stinger just tells the safety coming off the edge to take quarterback.
Or the mic and bullets.
Or the mic and bullets. Whenever you use the word stinger with one of those guys. Now see, you say, well, how do you know when you say stinger to the mic that you don't know the safety's not coming? Because I don't signal it to the safety. He don't have a wristwatch. When it says Mo Stinger, he's not reading Mo Stinger.
Tell me what Stinger is again.
Stinger's telling the smoke to go to quarterback instead of coming to go to pitch. You say, well, now who has
Telling
pitch?
any outside blitzer to go to quarterback instead of pitch.
Two back. I'm going to call, instead of calling 2 or 0, I call Thunder Stinger. Telling him instead of coming off the edge with him, he's coming for first threat, like he runs a rage. I play blue with it, which tells us over here, Blue Broncos, so tells us over here it's a one-man stunt. He got quarterback, they come down the option. His option rules is still play pitch anyway. So I build it instead of this guy reading on the line of scrimmage. Now if they run power O or something, I got a guy running at it instead of
Wait a minute. What? No, you wouldn't run that with double Stinger?
oh yeah, you could, but I would probably do a double stinger, do it more out of a 6-man. I'd do it more with a Mo here, and if you were in 4 wideouts, I'd do it more with 2 safeties. With a 6-1 look. But you could run double stinger. I just don't have any person over here to be the pitch guy when you move the safety over.
That's what I'm saying. You probably wouldn't do it, right?
No, Thunder or Lightning, yeah.
So really, I shouldn't say all 4 smokes with Stinger. I should say Thunder or Lightning.
Yeah, and you could run a wide stinger
I'm
and
sorry,
call
yeah.
it with a
Just
wide
not a
call.
All
double.
4, just no doubles.
Yeah, doubles is the problem set. Now, dogs is the same way smokes are. Only dogs now already signifies you're bringing how many?
or from the side. You're bringing a linebacker and a safety from the side. Don't care what the front is. Now we're just talking about coverage. So the free safety now, here's dogs. All he wants to know is that we do it the same way. Wide dogs, short dogs, T dogs. Instead of lightning, we have S dogs. You're split. Now, the rules really, as far as coverage, are the same as it was for smokes. Really, the biggest thing, though, is you're never going to really have any switch calls unless you go empty. Because a linebacker, the away side linebacker is never the away side because it's always the safety. So if we come up here, you line it up, and let's say we're going to run wide dogs. I don't care, where they're running through. We're just running wide dogs. Free safety knows it's wide dogs because I gave him the number. He's reading out of the wide side of the field. He finds number 2. Linebacker again counts. Weak safety's got the guy outside the box. So guess where, just like in smoke, just like if it was a single smoke, if that tight end come over here, guess who's covered him? He's got him. He will try to show a half as much as he can and move late. Okay? Write him out again. Okay?
I have
Now,
a question real quick.
Sure.
Nothing related to this. Watching that tape this morning,
Yes, sir.
on some of your solo stuff,
Yes, sir.
sometimes it looked like that guy stayed back almost over the weak side tackle looking at the trips, and other times it looked like he came all the way over on the front side.
Well, it might have been a different guy, and it might have been flipped. But if it was on a solo tape, I'd have to see it for me to know it. I don't.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Now, let's just say this is the wide side of the field again. So we call wide dogs, and now we got 2 back. When you're in a 2-back set, and we got wide dogs or any kind of dogs coming, if you're in an I-back set, we're always giving the remaining back, the tailback, to the remaining linebacker because of play action. This guy cannot play fullback in the flat and still play play action. So whether it's offset,
Say that again, Gary.
when we're in dogs, the remaining linebacker always has the tailbacks when you're in an I-type situation.
Okay.
Okay? So what happens is then now we know what happens. Free safety and the weak safety have these guys. So more than likely, what are they going to
Banjo.
They could banjo, but if they don't, probably they're going to banjo and move themselves more into a blue look.
Right.
But probably wouldn't do it unless it was more like that.
Okay.
Okay? So now wide dogs, he would move late, and so now the free safety and the weak safety have the inside, outside. The remaining linebacker always has the tailback.
That's good.
Even in the eye?
Huh?
That's what he said.
Yeah. Tailback, remaining linebacker always has
Put him in
it.
the eye. Where are the safeties going to line?
Huh?
Where are the safeties going to line up?
Normal way they'd line up to passing strength, everything. But he's going to have to cheat himself, look like a blue or 5 look back here, and get over the top more so he can get to anything working up the field. Because obviously, again, you got a guy that might run away from you.
Only going to cheat on the near set? Won't cheat against the eye?
Could, if you, like our offense is starting to do it where they'll run the fullback and the flat out of eye backs, then you're going to have to cheat late.
But he's still got support weak, right?
Huh? Yeah, and he's still got to be able to get back to things. That's why it's kind of you don't give him a definite.
Yep.
Because if this tackle's sitting up high, then he probably can cheat more. The tackle's down low.
It's just like he's keying the fullback, and if he goes to the tight end, now he's looking back. He's looking back.
He's
to the
looking
tight
how
end.
we're going to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they may be max protection, nobody go out. He may
Right.
just be hanging.
So let's say
But his first key is a tackle, though.
Well, he's going to be
Pre-snap.
pre-snapping.
put that, Willie.
Noxie?
Okay, give me a near
His
set.
number right here.
Over this way?
Yep. No, near to the tight end.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, and you're worried about them getting him out in the flat.
Yeah.
All right. So get your weak safety cheated over because you got a.
I'm not so worried about force now.
You got a banjo.
Yep.
Okay. Now you got your backside backer who's got the tailback.
Correct.
They run speed option weak. You're probably going to get 2 guys on that, right?
Yeah, without saying anything, if you do run speed option, probably both of them would run to it.
Because that
He's
backer.
got him manned,
He's
yeah.
got him manned. I think I saw that on some of your tape one time.
Yep. Now, we try to coach it up hard though. An option, no, understand that there's going to be a guy. There's going to be a guy there all the time.
So
But
if he reads ball down the line, he's going to go quarterback to pitch the line.
now the other thing on all the
That's his,
dogs,
the
I don't know what's
delay,
on there. Most of the time with dogs, there is a silver call, which is always telling the end when he doesn't have a dog to his side. But he's handling back clear across the space. If we know you were run speed option, we would never put silvers in the call. Because we'd always want the end to be playing quarterback.
Sure. Okay, you go silver now.
Silver, that's the, okay.
That's
That's
just
an
a build-
spy.
That's just to build in for
So
any
is your
blitz.
linebacker gonna get into,
He would add.
he adds, I forgot what word you used there, adds.
Add.
In other words,
Yeah,
he's,
so
yeah,
if the back players
he
and the
sees
end
the end
came
on,
on,
he's gonna,
he secures he's got him, he's
Nice
going.
hour wrap stuff.
yeah.
You like the silver with the dogs, and then you like it with the bullets too.
You don't need them for smokes because you got coming off the edge.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that in the bullets, but most of them have silver, huh?
Yeah, unless we're playing a team that runs like our offense that runs speed up. So we got 2 watches for spring. When we're going to work blitz versus cans and we're working on our own formations, and we're not going against the offense that day, then we'll have them in a wristband that has silver on it.
They don't have
If
silver.
we're gonna play against our offense that day, there will not be any silver calls on that because we don't want the ends going to pitch.
You don't have a silver on the spring.
Yeah, that's fact. Well, I think yours has a silver, doesn't it?
Every one of them does.
Yeah. See, I brought both watches. He's got silvers. You don't on the spring watches. I brought.
The only one that doesn't have silver is TG Pinch Bullets Aztec Stinger.
Yeah, because now you've got linebackers coming off the edge.
They got a pinch too, so
Yeah.
you can't have silver,
Correct.
right?
The silver's just flare control, I missed that.
Yeah, it is flare controlled by the ends
If
What?
they get full flow, they,
Why don't you need it with smoke?
because you got safeties coming off the edge. They're your spy. We call them spies.
They have it automatic?
Yeah, to start a game, they will always start with an automatic because they have pitch. If they're trying to do something to you to run him out and do something, then we will oftentimes tell them, I want no more spies on smokes.
And once again, whoever has that guy, I gotta
Stay
talk
with
to
him. And he'll add.
He'll add.